Well, howdy, I'm John Mark Dempsey, and Mario Villarino
Thank you for having us again.
Is our guest, the Hopkins County AgriLife Extension agent, and Mario sits down for that second cup of coffee with us from time to time.
Glad to be here.
Last time we talked, the Northeast Texas Beef Improvement Council annual meeting was just about to happen.
Yes, and it actually was a very nice program. Thank you for spreading the word and helping us out on that. We had about 400 people that come over to celebrate the beef industry and celebrate a particular sale with the preconditioned sale. It was a very successful one.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn anything from that you didn't know before?
Well, it's actually a display from the producers, and we have a little bit of talk about the concern of we're kind of talking about this throughout the different episodes, and the situation with the cattle being in compromise in certain regions of Texas, and how that movement of cattle compromise kind of hinders some of the availability of cattle available in the market, and that drives the prices up. So one of the things that we're promoting is people to be vigilant about the situation with the New World screwworm, which has been, we were part of that. We were part of that promotion program with our programs this year, and it's moving along nicely. The border maintains the biosecurity on check. So what latest that we learned from it is that USDA and APHIS has been deploying some traps to keep a surveillance of this particular fly. It's basically a maggot. It's a very small, immature stage that gets into cattle and really ruins them by eating that flesh and complicate things.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah,
it's very complex.
And am I correct that the ban, so to speak, of cattle moving across from Mexico is still in effect?
It is in effect. The majority of the cattle used to come through the Texas border from the humid side of Mexico is not active. It closed sometime in May, and they opened it for a couple of days in between during the outbreak, and the situation was not appropriate for make people in the making decision comfortable, and they decided to keep it closed. And it looks like, according to what the specialist says, that it's going to remain in that stage for a little while. So cattle is going to be more limited internally. That's going to remain on the prices. But I think it's super important that people, if they have problems with too much stocking or too little forage available, I was just talking to you before we started this, that rain is coming, but in very trickling events here and there, that it would be wise for them to sell it or relocate it or something to maintain that fluidity on the market. Because the problem is when it stays stagnant, that doesn't create opportunities for people to benefit.
So
from that.
Ordinarily there would be quite a bit of traffic between
That is correct. It's about
Texas and Mexico.
about a million head of living cows that comes through Mexico and stays on the border for a little while, and then get stabilized in the weather and whatnot, and then gets the spread all over the United States.
A million head over what period of time?
In 1 year.
It's
a million per year.
Wow. And that's shut down right now.
It is. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And it has to do with benefit. There's a lot of benefits for that particular type of cattle because we can move our ground meat from up north that is fairly fatty. And it gets kind of work on that meat to be available in the market. So when you don't have it, it creates a problem on demand.
So for consumers, this is not good.
Well, it is. It is
beef
part of the
prices.
That is correct. They will stay up for the consumer because there's scarcity is a problem. But it's also creating some stress on the people related to the industry. Sure. And that's what we learned. There's a lot of collateral industry that lives and survives by moving cattle and feeding cattle and whatnot. And when those numbers are low, it's a major concern. And Hopkins County has been traditionally a livestock county, so we need to maintain some of that. And it's smart that people that they have too many cows sitting there just waiting to finishing up. If they're not exactly the model that they want or the format that they need, that they can move it out and let somebody else try something different. And
I may have asked you this before. Has this had any effect on dairy cattle?
Well, actually, it does. We're seeing. I was in Amarillo a couple of months ago, and some of that hit from that market. It was actually covered by the dairy cattle. The lack of Mexican cattle was actually crosses from the dairy industry were able to satisfy some of that market. And it will remain that way for a little while. We have about 50% of the cattle in Hopkins County is dairy cattle.
I thought you had told me that before, about half and half.
Yes.
Wow.
And for tickets, we sell as much beef as meat as we sell liquid milk.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, so it otherwise is a fairly quiet time.
It is the time of plan for those who are in the agricultural industry to look at those pastures and see what the status is and locate those pesky pests that we have that they're hard to control otherwise, mainly grass burrs and thistles and all that. They got dormant this time of the year to locate where they're located and secure the next progress for the next process. So it's a good time to kind of slow down a little and plan and put a program in place because it's always needed. It's always good that you learn how you're going to continue next cycle.
And of course, Mario can help with
absolutely
anything that
from the get-go. Yeah, we're glad to receive any questions, calls, and that's our job here in the county.
Okay, great. Mario, great to talk to you again. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody, and we'll see you around.
Great, and we will talk again soon. Mario Villarino is our Hopkins County AgriLife Extension Agent. I'm John Mark Dempsey, and this is KSST.